What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today I brought the smart car just to show you how much of a joke the automotive industry is. Today we're going to be talking about the repo crisis and also a very big thing that's trending on Google, the Give Back My Car. This thing is going to be nuts. We're going to show you why people are giving back their cars, and also we're actually going to show you some real repos that we just picked up to show you what kind of cars people are basically giving back and walking away from. And I'm sure it'll blow your mind, so make sure you stay tuned to the end because the condition of these cars is absolutely insane. So we're back at my lot today to go over all the cars that we've been picking up that people have either been giving up or they just got repoed. And a lot of people are always saying, man, I want to buy cheap repos, I want to get some good deals. I'm telling you right now, the repos you're going to see are not great deals, and I'm going to explain how some of the loans basically were bad right from the get-go, how people were taken advantage of, and also how a lot of people signed contracts they never should have. So let's go ahead and start off with this Honda Accord. Now, this one actually broke 1 million views on Instagram and I think TikTok and a few other things because of how crazy it is. Now, this particular car I purchased for about 1,500 bucks. Now, the inside of it is where all the magic is, but this car, they gave a loan for over $7,500. This is a 2005 or 6 with only, I think, like 150,000 miles, but they never registered the car and they never made a single payment. They basically just bought it and drove it. All right, let's take a look here. Look how extra clean this vehicle is. Man, look at that. We got food in all the seats all the way down. You can kind of see all the stuff they left behind. And believe it or not, this is actually after they cleaned out the car. They had bags of clothes, they had old diapers, all kinds of stuff. But this is what it looks like with most repos we get. Now, in a lot of my videos, I talk about how during the pandemic, loans were given to people that absolutely couldn't afford it. This particular car, supposedly they had no proof of income, no proof of residence, and they were basically just driving around, taking this van for a joyride, never meant to actually make a payment. And I think they only put like $500 down. But at that time, the banks don't really care. They were just pumping out loans just to feed the economy. And this is some of the problems that you have. Now, I got a bunch of other ones we're gonna walk over here and show you. And the reason why I wanted to show you these particular cars is because, you know, all of us YouTubers always talk about the numbers and everything else. I like to show you guys physical cars that you could see. So obviously you guys know the Audi, that thing's been here forever. I still can't sell it. Nobody's got any money here in Vegas, so I think I'm just gonna ship it to California. But this is also a good example of somebody that paid way too much. I think the loan was 60-something thousand. They only made 2 payments, never registered it back in 2021, and then we winded up getting it for a pretty good deal with no keys as is, but works fine. This little Sonic, now this car is pretty hilarious. This was given to a tier 1 customer for $14,000 at 15% interest. They made 6 payments, but they winded up just basically leaving it at a shop and winded up blowing a head gasket, and they just left it, walked away. I purchased this car for 750 bucks with a blown motor, just to kind of give you an idea. So we're gonna go ahead and continue on through here. We got this beautiful Toyota Avalon. This thing's got airbags and stuff. If you guys like this stuff, hit me up. This one I'm gonna sell cheap. But this one, I know they winded up giving somebody almost like an $8,000 title loan on it just for this car. And it's got, like I said, airbags, leather seats, only got like 120,000 miles. That's a clean title. Now, this one right here is kind of a sad story. This is a 2018 Mazda CX-3. This is actually a really nice car. It's only got about 80,000 miles, but here's the hilarious thing. They had a $27,000 loan. And as you can tell, they didn't have insurance on it. They crashed it and they basically walked away. But not only did they have a $27,000 loan, this is an actual rebuilt title. So this shows how crazy banks were giving money. Now this car blue books for around 18K. So if I was gonna do a rebuilt title loan, I would probably lend about 8 to 10 grand, no more, because we wanna lend about 60% of the value. These guys lent 200% of a rebuilt title's value on this car, and they wondered why. And like I said, this was a tier 1 customer, which means they had good credit. They weren't subprime customers, they weren't bad customers, they were just regular people that had good credit, and this is what happened. Now this truck is pretty hilarious. We actually picked this one up in Arizona. If you watch Andre Jick's video, this one was in there. I just found out that the original loan they had on this car was $7,900 on a 2001 Chevy 1500 Silverado with 280,000 miles, which is absolutely insane. And you can see from the condition of the vehicle, it's not the greatest. This one had a bad transmission, it blew up, so they walked away. So this is when I talk about deficiencies. So many of these cars I'm gonna be showing you today, people lost a ton of money on. This one right here behind me, this is a Ford Focus ST. These are actually really cool cars, turbo, same thing. The customer paid, I think it was $18,000 for this back in 2020. Made 2 payments, never registered the car. So for 1.5 years, it's been sitting at a transmission shop because the second gear went out, and it winded up getting almost $5,000 in storage and fees. The bank had to pay that, bring it back. I purchased this car for 2,500 bucks. So just imagine they paid $5,000 plus they had whatever $18,000 loan, and now they have to eat the deficiencies of this. This is why this is such a crisis. So the car you see behind me is a unicorn. It is a single cab short bed Chevy Silverado V8. These things are extremely popular. This particular car was sold for $27,000 in 2022, which is absolutely insane. This was right before the market started turning. And so what these customers did is they winded up buying another car from the exact same dealership they bought this one from and basically gave this one back. And so this is something you're gonna see quite a bit, because this particular car, they owe 27 grand on. I think it's probably booking around 14, 15K. So why are they gonna pay almost double the book value for a car that's not worth it? They wind up getting a newer car with lower miles, probably for a much better deal because the market is going down, and winded up letting this go. This is why if you check Google Analytics, you'll see that Give Back My Car is absolutely skyrocketing when it comes to searches, because so many people are trying to figure out what's the correct way or the legal way to give back their cars. Now I'm here to tell you, I would actually just call the bank, let them know that the car is here, and go pick it up. Because if you don't, there's gonna be a lot of things. One, if you are skip, unable to locate, if you try to get a new loan, no bank will deal with you. They're gonna wanna just basically walk away. And the sooner you give back your car, the sooner they can write it off, the sooner you can get your new car. No bank will lend you money on a new car if you have an existing auto loan that's open. So if you have a car now and you don't want it anymore, you can't afford it, just give it back to the bank, walk away, let them close the books, because the faster you do this, the faster you can start your new chapter. Now, this one is absolutely hilarious. I didn't believe it when the banker told me, but basically this is a 2016 Nissan Altima. This was given a loan in California from a subprime bank. They gave him $19,000 for this car. And as you can tell from the condition, let me go ahead and flip the camera on. Look at this thing. This thing is completely roached out. Paint's faded, it's been in accidents. It's got 160,000 miles. If you can look right here, the seats are open. Looks like, I don't know if the airbags are blown. So they gave all this money for this car. So in all reality, this car to me is worth $1,500, but for some reason they decided to give them all the money for it for a loan for some crazy reason. And that's some of the crazy lending that you're seeing now. So I got it with no keys as is. I had to go pick it up literally in the middle of a tow yard just to get this thing. And like I said, it's completely roached out. But these are some of the scary things that you're gonna see why people are giving back their cars. So when people think that, oh, they're giving back nice cars or cream puffs, no, they're giving cars back like this and a few other ones I showed you, because they don't want to have to make crazy payments on cars that look like this. Now this car right here with the interest is a $1,000 car payment. That Mazda that's up front there, same thing, $1,000 car payment. You know, so some of these cars, even though they're not expensive, if they whack you at 15 to 20%, you'd be surprised on how fast your payment will actually go up. Oh, this one's pretty hilarious. I have to show you this one. So I always make jokes about Dodges. Dodges is like the official car for people that have shit credit. If you have a Dodge, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's true. So pretty much, as you can see, this beautiful cream puff here, we got the crazy wheels they put on it, but that's not the best part. I'm gonna show you this. This guy went all out. He put Lambo doors on the Challenger, excuse me. So shocks are blown out, that's okay, it's probably the Chinese one. But as you can tell, he spent all this money but failed to pay his insurance and wound up crashing the car, and now the car is no good. They wind up giving it back to the bank because they don't want to deal with it. So now this particular car, same thing. They purchased it in 2020, was never registered, was never made a payment on, never had insurance. They basically canceled everything as soon as they drove off the dealership. But in the meantime, they put wheels, Lambo kit, there's some speakers, subwoofers, all this stuff, wheels, all this crazy stuff, a cold air intake on this car. But instead of like maybe making their payments for the next 6 months to a year, they decided to throw that in there. This is the mentality of the average American buyer right now, is this is what you're gonna see. Crazy cars beat the shit like this that want that these banks want to go skyrocketing prices for. And the reason why I got all these deals is because the banks keep running these things at the auction, and they're going for what's called no sales, which means nobody bids on them or nobody bids up to the reserve that they want. This particular car ran 3 times in Arizona. This was one of the other cars that we showed you from the actual other bank. And this particular car, like I said, they wanted to get $7,000 for it at least. I ended up picking up, I think, for like $2,200, which we're probably gonna make a video, do something with the Lambo doors. Maybe I'll jump it off a ramp or something. But this is the current market that we're seeing. So if you own a car and you owe too much money, don't be afraid. Call your bank, see if you can work out some sort of deal. Even if you think you want to get rid of it, just tell them you're thinking about getting rid of it. Sometimes, this is very rare, banks will restructure your thing, maybe give you lower interest, or they'll actually maybe cut off some of your term, or allow you to refinance at a lower rate, something like that to help you, because banks don't want to take more losses like this. Because every week, I'm not even joking, I get hundreds of calls of people saying, hey, I got these lot of cars, I got to get rid of them. I'm going to San Diego next week. There's another guy, I won't say his name, but shout out to you for watching. We're gonna go look at a bunch of repos they have over there. I think it's like 150 cars sitting in their lot, and we want to go ahead and take a look at these things. And it's only going to get worse. When everybody thinks that, oh, the economy's fine, everything else, this is just one more thing to show you that people can't afford these cars. And not only are they nice cars, they're absolute shit cars. And you're gonna see a lot of these. So when you hear dealers and you hear people saying, well, there's nothing but shit out there and they want all the money, it's true, because people like this are still bidding cars like crazy at the auction. And also people on Craigslist and Facebook are buying these cars for stupid amounts. I posted that this Challenger here in my actual feed on my Instagram. I've already gotten 5 offers. The highest offer I've gotten as is, where is, was $5,000 so far. So I'm gonna see if we're gonna let it go or we're actually gonna make a video on it. But like I said, people just wanna buy these cars because they've been waiting for, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, some people up to 5 years trying to get a car because the prices have absolutely gotten ridiculous. So like I said, double check your loans. See if you can refinance. If you have good credit, try to do it right now. I know rates are getting higher, but they're only going to get worse. And just remember, the vehicle value has to be more than what you owe if you want to refinance your car. So if you currently owe more than what it's worth, the banks will not let you refinance it. So you need to either double up on your payments or slide an extra $100 to every car payment you make. So this way you can outrun this. And remember, the more cars we get like this, the lower your value of your car is going to get. Because even if you're, you know, a great person, you pay your bills, you got good credit and all that other stuff, and you think you're doing everything right, remember, this affects everybody, not just people with good credit. Because if you wind up buying this car for the exact same price that this guy did, and you made all your payments, and now I'm buying these cars for pretty much half of what they're selling for at the auction, now that brings the value down of your car. And so it's going to affect everybody around us. And so little by little, the cars that you guys are currently driving are going to be 10 to 20% less probably this following year. So make sure you stay aware of that. Talk to your credit unions, your banks. Now, if you're thinking about buying a car, don't wait. I'm telling you, if you wait till the end of December, there's going to be some deals, because the market is already turning. Banks are not lending. It's going to get much, much harder, and that's where deals are going to come through. Dealers are going to get desperate because they can't sell dog shit like this to silly customers that can't afford it anymore. The gravy train is over. They can no longer do this stuff, and now it's time to get back to basics. So dealers, I promise you, will start lowering your prices. And if you see a price, just because it's there, it's not written in stone, always offer less, because you have the leverage, because you know the market is turning bad. Vehicle values are going down, banks are not approving anybody, not a lot of people are buying, so the ball is in your court. Don't feel that like, oh, the dealer said that there's a high demand or they're not going to get off their price. I promise you, keep bugging them, checking in with them, and they'll keep lowering their prices. A lot of these cars I've been on 2-3 times before they came back around and accepted my offer, because they thought that they had something that was worth a lot more. So anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below, what do you think of the actual repo market? And also, are you thinking about giving back your car? Please leave a comment in the section below. It means a lot to me if you also subscribe and like this button. I truly appreciate it. We've been on a kind of a tear. I'm trying to get to 500K before the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen, but everything you guys do, like liking, subscribing, means a whole lot and helps me get to that goal. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next video.